We are here as parliamentarians, regional leaders, and indeed champions from countries of the Pacific to deliberate on what more we can all do to ensure that we have countries and a region that is as corrupt-free as possible during our time, as well as ensuring that we leave it in that state as a legacy for our future generations. In Fiji, we have a number of descriptions for corruption. Veitotaki, Veivangumi, and Zakazaka Vakalawakitha, amongst others. I am certain that you also have your own expressive versions in your respective languages. But despite the varying descriptions, we all know what they mean. All of us know that corruption can easily lead to the erosion of the moral principles and values of good citizenship in our societies. Globally, the cost of corruption is conservatively estimated to be at a staggering US $2.6 trillion per year. Money laundering alone is estimated to be at US $500 billion annually. In the Pacific, the consequences of corruption are extremely high. For corruption slowly festers and eventually robs our people of honest, decent, clean, and sustainable livelihoods. It is therefore most timely and equally appropriate that we gather to discuss the way forward for the Pacific. Fiji has determinedly demonstrated its political commitment in the fight against corruption when it ratified the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, UNCAC, in 2008. It was then only the second Pacific Island country to do so. As of today, there are 10 new states parties to the convention. However, prior to that happening, the strong determination of the Fijian government to eliminate corruptive practices in Fiji saw the establishment of the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption, FICAC, on the 4th of April 2007. And to much hue and cry and derision by many, I must add. Since then, FICAC has decisively dealt with some major cases, including, but not limited to, the National Bank of Fiji saga that occurred in 1996, the agriculture scam in 2000, the diversion and misuse of extinct Matangali funds in the period 2004 to 2007, and the allegations of vote rigging in the 2006 elections, general elections, among others. Corruption had been an ongoing problem in Fiji. This was exacerbated by poor governance systems, including the facilitation, without question, of directives from authorities under the context of respect, coupled with a culture of silence and a culture of gift-giving. The loss of revenue to the country from the few cases that I have mentioned was exorbitant. The overriding lesson that can be drawn from these events is that corruption is a wicked problem which is cross-sectorial in nature, and it could be a persistent threat to national security if it is left unchecked. The establishment of the Fiji Independent Commission against Corruption has helped to restrain acts of corruption throughout the country. But the work goes on. Fiji now belongs to the global club of 176 countries that are dedicated to working together to curb this global phenomenon. I had reiterated the determined commitment of Fiji to the United Nations Under-Secretary General and Executive Director of the UN Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, Mr. Yuri Fedotov, when he honored us with a visit to Fiji last year. But on this occasion, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the UNDP, UNODC, and the Global Organization of Parliamentarians Against Corruption for convening this workshop at such an important time when the post-2015 development discussions are being concluded, noting that Sustainable Development Goal number 16 refers to corruption, and most importantly, for giving us an opportunity to learn about the ongoing anti-corruption reforms and the best practices on parliamentary oversight. I also wish to thank the Chair of the Joint Standing Committee on the Corruption and Crime Commission of the West Australian Parliament for taking the time to attend and to contribute to this important workshop. Allow me to conclude by saying that the next 2 days will provide you with a unique platform for mutual accountability and assessment of the anti-corruption progress that has been taken in our countries and our own commitments that we will make at the regional and also at global levels to ensure that we, as the Pacific, continue to prevent and fight corruption for our people now and in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members of Parliament, I have much pleasure in declaring the meeting open. Thank you. Votualevu, Shukriya, Bahut, Dynavad.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for those